Hello, hello, and welcome back. Before we get into today's episode, I want to extend a very special invitation to you. If you are a 6 or 7 figure woman entrepreneur who is ready to scale your business with bigger strategy and with more soul, I'm inviting you to join me in Paris this spring for a 2-day event that I have done twice before called the Freedom Framework. It is happening April 20th and 21st in Paris, as I said, and it is a 2-day in-person business transformation intensive designed to give you your time, your joy, and your life back. And in these 2 days together in the city of light and the city of love, we will work deeply on your business with a proven 10x strategy to scale your income while removing you from the bottleneck of your business. It isn't just a strategy intensive, if you will. We're also going to be doing the inner work that's necessary. We are going to identify and shift the subconscious patterns that are keeping you stuck in your business, stuck in overwork, and help you step fully into the identity of a well-resourced, supported, visionary CEO. And that is how you will scale your business to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures with 14 weeks of vacation a year. I've done this twice before, once in Paris and once in New York, and it is so delicious. So if you've been craving more freedom, more clarity, and more feminine ease in how you lead and how you grow your business, this may just be for you. It is high touch, intimate, and I've kept it small on purpose. So seats are extremely limited and it is not an open door event. You must speak to me first for 15 minutes because I am curating the experience so that it is a delicious experience. So if this is speaking to you and your soul is whispering, yes, I want you to head over to boldheart.com/events. And you can also see this in the show notes and apply to have a personal conversation with me to see if it's the right fit. Now, of course, I'll be happy to give you all of the details about our Paris experience and everything that's included. And on that page, you can also see a video of the last 2 events to get a flavor for how wonderful it is when we get together in person, especially in Paris. All right, so there you have it. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Fabienne Show. Today's episode is for the woman who knows that she needs more support in her business, but she keeps bumping up against the same fear. And the fear is they won't do it like I do. Maybe you have delegated before and it didn't go well. Maybe you handed something off to a team member and ended up cleaning up the mess. Maybe you've tried to let go only to find yourself pulling it all back in just a few days or a few weeks. And I'm bringing this up because this is normal. I've seen it thousands of times, and I did the exact same thing in the beginning. And now, if this is you, you may be finding yourself doing things that you know someone else should be doing. And you say things like, it's just easier if I do it myself. Or maybe you're saying, I do not have the time to train someone properly right now. I'm overwhelmed, and you're stuck. And deep down, I want you to get that it's not really about time. I found that it's about trust. And today we are going to unpack that because I'm intending that you have a transformation around this. This episode is a love letter from me to that part of you that cares so deeply. I know you care deeply. And it's for that part of you that wants things done correctly, that wants to be protective of your clients, of your business. And it's also a nudge towards that version of you who leads from structure and from clarity and from trust and not control. So let us begin. I want to start today's episode by naming it for what it is, and I'm going to call it a delegation wound. And here's the truth that I see so often in the women who choose to work closely with me to scale without burnout. It's that if you've been disappointed before when you tried to delegate, to pass something off, you're not actually imagining things. You may have handed something off with good intentions, right? But then you found sloppy work or poor follow through. Maybe they went down the rabbit hole and created something that you were like, what? 3 weeks later? And this is what you thought I wanted. Or worse, and this has happened to me too, something that damaged your client relationships or your reputation because it wasn't done the way that you intended or the way that you would have done it. And I'll keep saying this. I am not judging you because I have been there. It is a slippery slope. And so many of my clients have been there too, possibly everyone. Here's what happens. The brain creates meaning from experiences. So when you're saying they won't do it like I do, or they don't see what I see, or I can't trust anyone to handle this the way I would, that is a meaning, and a meaning turns into a pattern. And the pattern is you start hesitating to delegate, you're micromanaging or helicopter parenting your team, you step in to fix things. Is that you? Are you recognizing that? Because I see it all the time. But there is a cost to this. The cost is that you stay stuck doing what I call low leverage tasks. You're staying as the bottleneck. Everything needs to come to you to be approved, even things that shouldn't. And because of this, you are too involved in your business, and your business stays capped by your personal bandwidth, by your capacity. But here's what I want you to hear today. That belief did not come out of nowhere. It was earned through real experience. And before we can release it, we have to honor where it came from. So I just want to invite you to take a moment to ask yourself, where did this belief come from? What specific experiences taught me that letting go is risky? And we've got to name the wound. And we got to do so without making you wrong, right? So this isn't about blaming yourself. And instead, it's about having self-compassion. Compassion for the woman that you are right now because you got here through experiences. Now, let us go just one layer deeper, because beneath that white knuckle grip is actually just the idea that you care. You care so deeply because this is your business and these are your clients and this is your life's work, right? Your name and your reputation, your legacy. Like this is, if it's the same for you, my business was my first child. And so it matters. And somewhere along the way, you took on this, what we'll call the sacred role, right? You said, I'm going to be the guardian and I'm going to be the rescuer and I'm going to be the heroine, the one who holds this specific standard of how it should look, the one who makes sure that everything is going to be done right. So, of course, it's hard to let go. Of course, it feels vulnerable to let someone else hold the thing that means so much to you. I mean, imagine a newborn. Are you going to put it in just anybody's hands? No, it's your baby. And so you've probably said things like, they don't care as much as I do. And I just feel like I am responsible for everything. And if it goes wrong, it's on me. That's my name at the bottom of that email. That's my reputation on social media. I know because I've said the same things. And I'm also going to say that this is leadership and it is love, right? Love for what you're creating, love for the people you're here to serve. But my love, caring this much doesn't have to equal carrying it all. Okay. High standards do not have to equal doing every single thing yourself when somebody else could help you under the right circumstances. I just want to say that it is safe to acknowledge that there is a lot of emotional responsibility that you're holding, right? And it is also safe to begin releasing it, not all at once, but piece by piece. Imagine, I don't know if you can see me, but I have my fist clenched and you can see the whites in my knuckles. You're not going to open up your hand all at once. You're just going to open up one finger at a time until your hand lets go. So letting go doesn't mean that you have to stop caring. It just means that you have to start leading differently. So let's talk about releasing that rescuer role, that protector role, but without lowering your standards. As always, at Bold Heart, we do the inner work first. Because if you have a difficult time trusting a team member or someone else to support you, I'm just going to say this, it is usually a trauma response. I've seen it so much. The chronic disappointment, the not being able to count on others, and more. Now, I'm just going to get personal here with you. If you've heard other podcast episodes, you know that there were some tumultuous things that happened in my childhood where I felt like the rug was pulled out from under me. And I created this meaning that not being controlling of everything was unsafe. So I just started to control everything. And that helped me to some degree. But at one point, let's say in your business, it stops helping you because there's no more bandwidth. There's no more of you to go around. There's no more time. So your business stays stuck and it cannot grow to 7 figures or multiple 7 figures with you having many, many weeks of unplugged vacations. This is what I've learned. So I want you to think back in your childhood. Was there a time where you didn't feel in control of something and you decided, I need to have control of everything or else it's not safe, right? If you have the identity of being the rescuer or the hero and you get value from that, whether that value is safety or a feeling like of relief, then there will never be a way to let go of they won't do it the way I would, and you will continue to burn out. And so we need to shift your identity on the inside before it will stick on the outside. Here's what I mean. I could just tell you to stop micromanaging your whole team and to start tomorrow. Are you going to do it without doing the inner work? No, you're going to resist it, or you'll try it and you'll say, see, Fabienne, it didn't work. So this is why we have to start by doing the inner work. This is what at Bold Heart we call a mindset first methodology. Once the inner work is handled, then the strategy will work, but not before. Once you have reformed your limiting beliefs and we have addressed perhaps that trauma response that's there from childhood, then there is a turning point. You see, releasing control doesn't mean that you have to lower your standards. It simply means just showing up differently in your business. So, yes, you've been the protector. You have been the quality controller. You have had to correct mistakes and pick up the pieces. But the next level of your leadership and your business is not about rescuing. It is going to be about guiding. It is not going to be about taking over. It's going to be about teaching and training. It's not going to collapse into, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. It's going to be about gently correcting and setting some new ways of doing things in your business. And this is where systems come in. And I know, because I teach systems and I have taught them for 25 years, that systems don't sound really sexy in the beginning. But systems are going to be the solution to all of this. This is where structure and documentation and training and you having greater boundaries and providing some accountability, all of these things being in place, they will replace your need to jump in, fix it, and own it. Okay? This is where you will install in your business a culture of excellence that doesn't depend solely on your effort and your bandwidth. And yes, let's address the fact that people will have learning curves. I always tell people who work with me, you can't just put a system and expect your team to figure it out overnight. Sometimes it takes a couple of months. They may not get it right the first time, but that doesn't mean that you have to take it all back. It means that you lead. It means that you coach. You put your coach hat on, okay, instead of taking it all back. You hold the standard without holding everything. And you move from being the rescuer to being the empowered CEO of your business. So let's rewrite the belief. I've heard so many women say, no one will care as much as I do. They are not like me. They won't do it like me. And you're right. They won't. It's not their business. And you're not actually looking for a replica of yourself. What you need are capable, supported humans who care in their own way. And again, no one will ever care exactly like you do, but that doesn't mean that they don't care enough. So the sustainable model of trust in a business isn't really about personality as much as it is about structure. Clear SOPs, documented expectations, thoughtful onboarding, some feedback loops, some training, like I just said, being available to people after you delegate. This is how trust grows when people are set up to succeed. At least that's been my experience. So instead of micromanaging, you want to lead through clarity. You want to create a system and trust the system, not just the person. If things are documented, if things are clear, if your expectations are communicated in a way that they're understood, that is when you can remove yourself from every single role in your business that doesn't actually require your unique brilliance. And slowly but surely, your business stops being all about you. It starts being a well oiled, values aligned, sustainable business with many hands holding the vision with you. This is what is the beginning of real freedom in your business. And it is a worthy goal. This is where we start with so many of the members of Bold Heart. So I want to leave you with a question. And it's a question that's meant to shift something within you. And here it is. What would change if I stopped requiring others to care as much as I do? And instead, I allowed them to care their way within my standards. What if you could surrender to that? They're never going to be like you. They're never going to do it like you, but they can do it like themselves with your parameters, your structure, your documentation. I want you to think about that over the course of the next few days. Let that sink in. That's your work right now, is to trust wisely and to lead generously and to scale sustainably. Because you're not going to be able to scale to seven figures, multiple seven figures, and take a lot of time off if you're involved in everything. Your job now is to think and to lead and to train and to be there to help your team succeed instead of you being responsible for every I dotted and every T crossed. And most importantly, it is about you releasing the belief that you are the only one who can do it right. Because you're not, and you never were. It's just a false belief that we create based on past experiences that didn't go well. And so in the end, you don't have to carry it all. That's what I'm here to tell you. This is just the inner work that we get to do, the one that we do at Bold Heart for all the women who choose to work with me to scale and get their life back. I don't think you can scale and get your life back being involved in everything. And that's probably what's holding you back too, and feeling like, oh my gosh, my business is so heavy. And if you've ever thought about joining me within Bold Heart, I just want you to know that we help you build the systems and the team and the structure that allow you to scale to seven figures, but without feeling like you're continuing to do everything yourself, which is what causes burnout. And so if this episode and this conversation is hitting home, and you know that it's time to lead differently, but you're not sure how because it just feels so overwhelming, you may know that I offer a limited number of private one-on-one conversations that I like to call Get Acquainted calls. It's where you go onto my website and you answer a few questions about your business. You tell me what's working, what's not working, where you'd like to be in a couple of years in your business. Like if everything worked out beautifully, what would it look like? And then I help you figure out what's getting in the way and we create a plan together. And these calls are limited and they are free. It's my way to jump from this podcast to having a heart to heart conversation. And you can apply to have one of these free calls with me if you would like to connect with me. These conversations are not just a business strategy, they're also an identity transformation. And it starts with reclaiming your time and your peace and your power. So if it speaks to you, you can go in the show notes or you can go to boldheart.com/call and let's map out a plan for you. And as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a loyal podcast listener. I really appreciate you. We may never have met in person, but I see your heart. I see your big, healthy ambition. And thank you for choosing me to listen to. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time.